Hey you, Chris here.
And Cassie here with you.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're exploring something maybe a bit surprising. Insights from things you've shared about, well, the hidden toxins in our homes.
Right, but not the chemical kind we usually think about.
Exactly. We're talking about everyday stuff, the objects around you, and how they might be impacting you spiritually, mentally, emotionally.
It's fascinating how our space connects to our inner world.
Yeah, and for you listening, maybe depending on the season you're in right now, this could really resonate. It might shine a light on things you haven't really considered before.
Those unseen influences.
So our mission today, let's unpack how these common things can act like, well, silent anchors. Sometimes even weighing you down without you realizing it. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. It's interesting, isn't it, how much we focus on what we eat or the news we consume?
But not always the physical things we live with every day.
Precisely. And these objects, they have the subtle but constant effect. Think about just the sheer volume of stuff many of us have. Each thing has a story, a memory maybe, and it takes up physical space, sure, but also like mental space, a bit of our mental landscape.
Okay, so let's get into these toxins, the household kind. We've put together a list inspired by what you've all shared.
Common items that can hold us back sometimes.
And as we go through them, maybe just pause and ask yourself honestly, do I have this right now in my space?
Good question to keep in mind.
First one, objects you just don't use anymore. You know, that kitchen gadget you had to have.
And haven't touched since maybe week one.
Right. Or those souvenirs just collecting dust in a box somewhere. Why are they still there? What's keeping you holding on to them?
It could be that sunk cost idea, you know. We spent money or maybe time getting it.
So letting go feels like waste.
Yeah, even if it serves zero purpose now. Or it's that what if fear. What if I need this someday? So it just sits there.
Taking up space.
Yeah.
And maybe adding a little bit of like mental burden, feeling obligated to this unused thing.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into the next one, clothes you don't wear.
Yes. This came up a lot. And not just the stuff that's maybe a size off.
No, think bigger picture. Clothes you haven't put on in years. Styles that just don't feel like you anymore.
And, okay, let's get specific. Like some of you did even those old stretched out socks or, yes, the uncomfortable underwear you keep meaning to toss.
Be honest. What actually makes you feel good when you wear it?
That's the key.
Oh.
Our clothes are so tied to how we see ourselves, right? Our self-expression.
Definitely. So hanging on to clothes that don't fit who you are now, it can create this weird disconnect.
Between who you were, or maybe who you think you should be, and who you actually are today.
And letting that stuff go, it can be really freeing, like embracing your present self and making room literally for clothes that support that person.
Okay, next up, broken things. That lamp that flickers you've been meaning to fix for how long now?
Or the chipped mug you still grab automatically.
Yeah. It's not just a broken object. It's like a tiny, constant reminder of something left undone.
It can chip away at your feeling of competence almost, that sense of order.
It's a subtle weight, isn't it? These unfinished things.
Absolutely. A low-level frustration, maybe. A feeling that things aren't quite right. And that can definitely affect your mood, your energy.
Then there are old cards and notes. Sentimental value, right?
So sometimes. Letters from an old flame, maybe. Sympathy cards from a really tough time.
They meant something significant then. Comfort, connection.
But now, tucked away in a box or a drawer, could they be, maybe unintentionally, keeping you tied to emotions or chapters you've actually moved on from?
It's interesting how we use these things to build our story.
We do. And some remind us of good times, cherished people. But others, they might keep old wounds open or unresolved feelings just simmering below the surface.
So it's about deciding consciously which memories to keep visible and which to acknowledge and then release.
That's a really powerful way to think about it. Self-care, really.
Okay, what about the living things or formerly living? Dead or sick plants?
Oh, we've all been there. That poor little succulent.
You had such good intentions,
Yeah.
But now it's looking sad.
They become these quiet little visual cues of neglect, don't they?
And maybe that mirrors other feelings, feeling overwhelmed or like you dropped the ball somewhere else in life.
It's possible. If our home reflects our inner state, then tending to living things can be like tending to ourselves.
And neglecting them might reflect feeling depleted,
Yeah.
unable to care even for small things.
Right. So reviving them, or even just letting go if you can't maintain them, can actually bring a sense of vitality back to the space and to you.
And the paper, oh my goodness, the paper piles.
Ah, yes. Receipts bursting out of wallets.
Stacks of magazines you will read someday.
Expired coupons just mocking you.
It's so easy for it all to just accumulate, isn't it? Creating this visual noise.
Total paper chaos. And that visual clutter often translates directly to mental clutter, feeling disorganized.
It's true. It's like your brain has to work harder just to ignore it all.
It does. It's cognitive overload. Makes it harder to find what you do need and just adds to that general sense of overwhelm. Affects focus, definitely.
Don't forget shoes. The ones that are broken or just don't fit right.
Those gorgeous heels that kill your feet after 10 minutes.
Or the sneakers so worn out they offer zero support. You keep meaning to replace them.
But they're still by the door. They're literally not supporting you anymore.
And that discomfort, even if it seems small, it adds up, right?
Yeah.
Affects your comfort, maybe even your posture, your outlook.
It's a great, very physical example. Choosing footwear that actually serves you, small act, big difference in self-care.
And then nostalgia. Those items tied to a past version of you that maybe isn't you anymore.
Like a collection from an old hobby you dropped years ago.
Or memorabilia from a phase of life that feels, well, really distant now. It's okay to change, to evolve.
Absolutely. And sometimes our stuff needs to catch up with our journey. Otherwise, it can kind of keep us tethered to the past.
Recognizing when something has served its purpose in your story that allows you to embrace who you are now.
Well said. It clears the way.
And lastly, for parents listening, kids' toys.
Oh, the mountains of toys.
The ones they never play with anymore. The broken ones. The ones they've totally outgrown but are still taking up space.
That clutter can be a huge source of stress for parents.
And it can even affect how kids play, right?
Yeah.
If their space is just overwhelming.
Yeah, clearing that out regularly isn't just about space. It teaches kids about letting go, appreciating what they have. Creates a better play environment, too.
So you see, it really isn't just about having too much stuff.
No, it's deeper, emotional anchors, like you said.
Each thing holds a piece of your history, maybe an old intention, a past self.
And if it doesn't serve who you are today, it's taking up more than just physical room.
It's taking up mental space, emotional energy, space where new things, positive experiences could actually grow.
That's the potential cost of holding on.
So what happens then? What shifts when you actually start to let some of this stuff go?
Oh, this is where the magic can happen. There's often this real sense of liberation.
A lightness.
Yes, an emotional and mental lightness that mirrors the physical clearing. People often report really surprising benefits.
Like what?
Well, less stress, for one, less dust, maybe easier breathing, just an overall feeling of having more energy.
I believe it. And creativity too, right?
Right.
Creating physical space seems to spark something.
It really does. It's like your brain loves the visual calm. It gives it room to wander, make new connections.
Like how a tidy desk can suddenly make you feel like you can think clearly again.
Exactly. A cluttered space is distracting, mentally taxing. An organized, simpler space, it frees up that mental bandwidth. Better focus, more creative flow.
And this might surprise some people. Decluttering can actually help your relationships.
How so?
Well, think about that low-level stress from a cluttered home. It can subtly affect how you interact with people you live with, or even visitors.
That makes sense. If you feel calmer in your own space.
You might have more patience, more positive energy to share. It creates a more peaceful backdrop for your interactions.
That's a powerful link. Our home is our sanctuary, or it should be. If it feels chaotic, that spills over.
A more serene home can definitely foster more calm and connection.
And clearer thinking. That's almost a given, isn't it?
It feels like it should be. Your mind really does tend to mirror your surroundings. Space is clearer, thoughts feel clearer, easier to focus, process things.
Our brains love order. Visual clutter equals mental disarray, basically. Organizing your space helps organize your thoughts.
And maybe the best part, just a lighter mood overall.
Yes, peace actually has room to enter when you've made space for it.
Like opening a window for your mind and spirit. A breath of fresh air.
Because when you release the physical stuff, you're often releasing the emotional baggage tied to it too. The mental clutter dissolves.
Which leads to relief.
Yeah.
And makes space for more positive feelings, more inner peace, day to day.
That's the goal, right? Greater well-being.
So you see, it's not just tidying, it's releasing on multiple levels. Deeply personal. Okay, so if you're feeling that little nudge now, looking around your own space with new eyes, here are a few questions to ask yourself as you look at each item.
Good. Having some prompts helps guide the process with intention. So start with this, really honestly. Why am I saving this specific thing?
And dig a bit deeper than just Maybe someday.
Right. What's the real emotional hook or the sense of obligation?
And then ask, does this reflect who I am today? Who I want to be?
That old trophy, that concert t-shirt, does it align with your current values? Your goals now?
It helps you curate your space to match your present self, doesn't it?
Exactly. Your surroundings should support the person you are becoming, not keep you anchored in the past.
And this one might be the most revealing. How would I actually genuinely feel if I let this go?
Visualize it. Space without that item.
Would it feel lighter? Freer? Or would there be a real pang of loss? Acknowledging that feeling is important.
It helps you face those attachments head on instead of just avoiding the decision. You can navigate the feeling gently.
And please remember this. You are not throwing away your memories when you let go of the object.
Such an important point.
You're making space for new memories. Sometimes the memory itself becomes clearer, more cherished. Without the physical thing taking up room and maybe gathering dust or negative feelings.
Our memories live inside us, in our thoughts, our feelings, not just in the stuff. Letting go of the object doesn't erase the experience or the lesson.
Okay, practical steps. How do you actually do this without feeling totally overwhelmed?
Start simple. A system helps. Think about 3 categories for your things as you sort.
Okay.
You need a spot, maybe just a box or a corner for things to donate, good condition stuff that someone else could use.
Right, pay it forward.
Then a space for things to discard. Be honest here, stuff that's broken beyond repair, really worn out, unusable.
Okay, trash or recycling.
And maybe a third pile to potentially sell. If something has real value and you're willing to put in the effort.
Having those clear zones, maybe labeled boxes, it makes it feel more manageable.
Totally. You see progress. It feels less like emotional chaos.
And the absolute key, be kind to yourself. Take it slow.
Please do. Don't try to tackle the whole house in one weekend. That's a recipe for burnout.
Start small. What feels easiest? One drawer, one shelf, one corner.
Small wins build momentum, makes the whole thing feel less huge, less daunting.
It's a gradual process. Self-compassion is crucial.
Absolutely. Adjust your pace as you go. Honor your feelings about things.
Okay, so you've done some clearing. You've made some space. What's next for making your home feel truly supportive?
Good question. Because your environment, it actually feeds your nervous system, directly impacts it.
So how do we nurture that piece we've just made room for in ways that feel right for you personally?
It's about consciously shaping the sensory experience in your home now, beyond just the absence of clutter.
So maybe after decluttering, you notice you're more sensitive to loud noise.
Could be. Yeah. So maybe create a quiet zone, a corner, just for calm.
And lighting. Notice how different light makes you feel. Maybe softer, warmer light feels better than harsh fluorescence.
Pay attention to your sensory preferences. What feels jarring to you? What feels soothing? Reduce the jarring stuff.
What about colors? Do certain shades make you feel instantly calmer? Maybe bring those into your space.
And smells too. Maybe strong chemical cleaners suddenly feel really abrasive.
Opt for natural stuff or just open the windows. Fresh air is amazing.
Tune into what feels personally uplifting for your senses. It really impacts your emotional state.
And this one's important and deeply personal. Actively choose to let go of items tied to genuinely painful memories.
You deserve a space that supports your healing and peace, not one that constantly triggers difficult feelings.
Create that feeling of safety, of sanctuary, by removing those triggers.
It makes a huge difference.
And here's a practical tip that brings surprising satisfaction. Finish the unfinished.
Ah, yes. Those little nagging tasks.
That book you started 6 months ago, the mending pile, that half-done project.
Finishing them brings a sense of closure, doesn't it? Frees up mental energy.
Reduces that background hum of unresolved stuff. Feels good.
Definitely contributes to a feeling of accomplishment and order.
And maybe most importantly, consciously invite joy and peace back in ways that resonate with you.
What does that look like for you? Fresh flowers? Music you love? Making time for hobbies in your newly cleared space?
Whatever feels good, because your space is yours. It's sacred, in a way. Treat it like that.
Treat yourself like that. By extension, your home should reflect you, nurture you. Cultivating that positive atmosphere authentically is real self-care.
So as you maybe start this cleansing process, just watch what changes inside you.
Notice the shifts.
Because it's more than spring cleaning, isn't it? You can be like spiritual work, almost.
It really can. You're practicing detachment in a gentle way.
Making space physically, mentally, emotionally.
And learning how to release not just things, but maybe old stories you tell yourself. burdens you've been carrying, expectations that don't fit anymore.
It's a deep process, potentially. So take your time, really.
Be gentle with yourself, patient. It's your journey, no comparisons.
And if you get stuck, just remember that core idea as you bring order to your physical house.
You're often bringing order and peace to your mind and heart, too.
That connection is powerful.
It truly is a beautiful way to think about it.
Well, thank you for joining us for today's deep dive. We really hope this conversation sparked something for you.
Maybe inspired you to look at your own space with fresh eyes.
And think about those subtle ways your surroundings might be influencing how you feel day to day.
We hope it encourages you to create a home that feels truly nourishing.
A space that reflects the wonderful person you are and supports your well-being.
A space that supports your inner peace and lets you thrive just as you are.
Thanks for diving deep with us. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for more real talk on hot, viral topics. Tell us what topic you want us to deep dive on in the comment section. Bye, everyone, and see you again in our next podcast.